All right, good morning everybody. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, the December the 8th. Another beautiful sunny day here in Cyprus. The time is 8:30 in the morning. I don't usually start work this early, but I have this problem with this van and we have to sort it out. Right. Continuing from my previous video, look at everybody. I remove the fuse box. I trace those wires that they were giving me the short, the big one and the small one, and I traced them, and they were coming behind the fuse box. Now, if you remember what we did, we clip my test light onto this end of the battery positive, and we touched the positive on the battery, and if you remember, the light was coming on. I'm touching it now, and look, there is no light. That's because we have disconnected the wires from behind the fuse box. So the short is in here somewhere. I'm going to dismantle this and have a look inside, and if there is anything that I can fix, I'll fix it. But to make a point is to remove the fuse box is a lot of plugs that you just unplug. You gotta be very careful. They all have like a clip on them that you pushed in. There's this one, and if you look at this one is the small that comes from the battery, the one that was giving us the short, and this one is the large one, because these are the only two that they are coming through the loom, or the harness that goes around and back to the battery. Now, to confirm that, let me undo the small one first. I'm going to isolate it from the from this splicer here, and we're going to confirm that this wire is that little one under there. So what I'm going to do, I don't want it to be touching ground, I just want it to be up in the air or something. Let me put this plastic underneath it so it's not touching on the metal. Okay. I have a multimeter here. Now I have my multimeter on a continuity, so if I touch these two together, you should hear a beep. I don't know if you can hear the beep. I'm going to put one of the cables at the end on that cable. All right, and I'm going to touch the small cable, the small cable here, to make sure this is the right cable coming here. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Right. So I am going to remove the other wire, the thick one that was giving us the short. I don't know what I'm filming. I don't know what I am filming. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna get this other end. Okay, this is too thick to go in there. It's too thick to go in there. Bear with me a second. All right, I have something here. Okay, I am going to put that in there. Can you hear it? Can you hear it buzzing? There you go. There you go. Right, okay. So far, so good. Now, the problem is there were those two wires. That was the problem. And obviously, the fuse box is faulty, either faulty or there's something inside of the fuse box that is creating the short. I'm going to dismantle it. I'm going to take it home and dismantle it. And I'm going to have a look inside and see if there's anything. I'm going to try and record it and see if we can fix the problem, or we have to go and buy a new fuse box. Now these screws were removed. We need to separate. This comes off. This comes off, and yep, there's a screw here, which I am going to remove it. All right, I made it easier. It was a little bit hard to pull it out. I pulled it out. So you just pull this end, and if you look at the other end, there's a little slider that goes into it, and you just pull this up, and it comes off like that. Okay, I don't know what this is. I hope the problem is not in here. Okay. But the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to open up this fuse box and see what's happening. And if I don't find anything obvious in here, I'm going to open up this and have a look at it. It looks nice and clean, no corrosion or anything like that. But maybe some lines are broken or something. I don't think there is any microprocessing or chips in here to control anything. It's just fuses, and I'm not sure about this though. But obviously I'll open it up and have a look. And this one now. Oh, by the way, this laptop belonged to a friend of mine. He gave it to me yesterday. It's a very old laptop. He had it under the shelf, or on the shelf. And apparently he's got hundreds and hundreds, thousands, not hundreds, of tuning files here. He used to work for Jaguar, I believe. And he's got thousands and thousands of tuning files, stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. Now the battery is dead, so I need to buy a power supply, which I don't have one. I'm going to buy a power supply and start this thing up and see what's there. Try and steal it all from him. Right, I guess I need something to put in here just to separate this part from this part. Let me do that and I'll come back. I need to, so you know, I need to put something in there between the box around and just pull it up to separate the two. I don't think there's anything else holding this. I don't see any screws. No, there are no more screws. All right, let me separate that and I'll come back. Okay, I just managed to remove the cover. Okay, how'd you get the cover off? As I said, you put something between the cover and the box on the side. I've used this tool. I pushed it in and I forced it to come up. It doesn't come up easily, but you force it, it will unclip, and then you go around the box and you do it slowly, and this should come off. Now, as we can see here, there are a lot of joins, if you can see them. Now maybe some of those are cracked. I need to resolder every single one of them. So I am going to take these 2 screws, remove this top if it comes off. I'm not sure if it comes off because I believe these are soldered to the board. All right, I just realized that what's holding these in place is these 2 screws here. Okay, if you remove them, then obviously we turn it upside down, that should come off, and there it is. Okay, nothing looks anything obvious on this side. The problem is between the 2 boards. It's in there somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can separate them, because I think they are separating. Yeah. It's folding here, you see it? It's folding back, it's not... Okay, so I pushed these black tabs here, this one and this one, you push them in and the board is coming out. Okay, now that's been released. You can see there's something holding it, so alright, nothing is holding it together. When I pulled this up, it was a little bit hard, you know, it needs a little bit of force to come up. Okay, now what we have all these joints. Now I'm going to resolder every single one of them. There is something there, but I don't really like. I don't know if it's there or corrosion. I don't know what it is. It looks like water. And all the way around it. Maybe it's dirt. So this plastic thing that's on there, if you look at, they got these tabs at the back, you push it and it should come out. Push them in and that should come out. There you go. Okay, so nothing special here, nothing to worry about. These all joints, as you can see here. I don't know what this is all about. I'm going to clean it with alcohol and I'm going to re-solder these, retouch them, add more solder to them, so just in case there's some cracks in the solder. And the next thing I am going to do after that, I'm going to open up this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws, and this should come off. I hope this is not the problem. In fact, what I am going to do, I'm going to solder this, resolder this, clean it up and everything, put the whole thing together, go back to the van and join those 2 wires that they were giving me the short, and see if they are still giving me short. If they're giving me short, that means the problem is this and not that, which I will then have to dismantle this and check it out and see if there's anything in there obvious. I am doing the best I can. As I have said before, I'm only a locksmith. But there must be some capacitors and some components in here that maybe they burn. I'm going to try and see if there's any short to ground in there to the best of my ability or knowledge, and we'll take it from there. So for now, I am going to clean all this with alcohol. Okay, I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to retouch all the lines. We have to be very careful because at the far end in here, you see the lines going from one board to the other. We have to make sure that we don't break those lines. So I'm not going to open it further. I'm just going to try it and do it as it is. I'm going to do this side first, and then I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to do this side. All right, for now, let me do that, and I will come back and let you know how I'm getting on. All right, we are back in the van. This is the fuse box. This is the one that I opened up and I resoldered all the joints, cleaned it up and put it back together. And I have joined the two wires that were giving us a shortage. Just those two wires, nothing else. And I'm going to try and see if we get anything now. Okay, there's no light, which is good. Now, the other part, this part here, I didn't do anything. I'm gonna put it back in and see if this is the one that's giving us the shortage. And if this is the one, then I'll have to open it up. If not, then that means it might be one of the wires that goes into the box, a fuse box. So I'm going to start plugging them one by one and see which one will bring me the short to ground back, and then I will follow it and see where does it go, and hopefully I can find my short to ground. All right, so this one, let me see if I can do it while I'm holding the camera. Okay, all right, I think that's in place. Yep, that's in place. Let's right, so far so good. That means my fuse box is good. By the way, I put those wires back into place. My fuse box is good. So this means that some of the wires are causing the short to ground. Okay, I'm not going to put the fuses back on, because if you remember, I removed all the fuses and we were still getting short to ground. So I'm going to start plugging all the connectors, and I am going to keep an eye on the light, and as soon as I find which one shorts to ground, I will come back and show you guys. I need two hands to do this, I'm afraid. I can't do it while holding the camera. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, I'm in the middle of doing this process. I just want you to know that I plugged all the 4 wires at the back. Bear in mind, you cannot put the wrong plug in the wrong place. Every plug has its own socket, and you cannot make a mistake putting it back in the right way. I mean, if I try to put this somewhere else, it will not fit. So I did the 4 at the back, and remember that two of those were the ones that were giving us a shortage, and I don't have any short at the moment. So far so good. So I'm gonna start putting the ones at the front, and as soon as I get the short to come back, I will come back and show you. All right, some differences. I just did that so that the screwdriver is in place all the time. Today is Sunday, guys. Sunday the 11th. I decided to put all the fuses back. All the relays are back in place. Now this, by the way, is the gateway. It's the gateway, ZGS. I believe this is the gateway of the van. Right, so I am going to start putting the plugs one by one and see what happens. I'm going to put this one in first. Okay, that's in place. No light. Okay, I'm going to remove it. And I'm going to put the next one. Okay, I'm going to put this one now. Light. Oh, right, it's gone out. Okay, why is that? The light came on and then it went out. All right, let's try that again. Let's remove this. The light is off. Let's put this back on. Yep, light is back on, but it's going out. Right, that's weird. I don't understand why that is happening. But anyhow, let's assume that this wire is okay, this plug is okay. Let's continue with the rest of them. Now I am going to plug, sorry, this big one here that goes in there. Okay, let's plug that in. Okay. Will you look at that? Unbelievable. Short to ground. Now what I am thinking, it might not, the short to ground might not be on the wires. It might be because power is going through the gateway and the gateway is shorting out and then it's sending back the short to ground. So I'm going to remove the gateway and see if the light goes out. Let me see if I did put the screw back. No, I did not. Okay. The gateway is out, by the way, right? And the light is on. So I believe the problem is on the wiring harness. Okay. Okay. Let me remove this plug. Let me put the gateway back on. Okay, the gateway is back on. Let's plug the rest of the wires just to make sure that that's the only one that's giving us the problem. Let me find the other ones. All right, because the wires are a bit short, I am going to put the camera down. I'm going to plug this. We have to put these three here. These are the only three we didn't plug in. We plugged those two in and there's no shortage. We plugged that one in there and that's the one that's giving us a short. I'm going to plug this one and see if there's any shortage. Plug this one and so forth and see, and then the last one we'll do this little one. I'm trying to eliminate as many wires as I can. That I know now that this plug that goes in here, sorry, in here, is the one that's giving us the short. So let's put the other ones in one by one, have a look at the light, and we take it from there. Okay, as you can see, I plugged the first one. There is no light. I'm going to remove that one. Okay, let me find the other one, this one here. Okay, I need two hands again. All right, I plugged the second one. There's no light. Okay, we've got two more to plug in. I've got to plug this one and that little one there. Now this one, it's easy. I can do it while holding the camera. There we go. That's the one there. Light is not on. Okay, and let's do the little one, that little one there. Let me find it. Disappeared. I can't see it. This one. Ah, here it is. Okay, here it is. Let me change hands. This one goes in this way. Okay, that's in place. And no light, so there's only one plug that is giving us a short. That's the large one that goes onto the fuse box, that goes into there. I am going to try and trace it and see if we can find any short, and we'll take it from there. All right, everybody. What I did, I follow these wires. This is the socket that is giving me the short to ground. So I follow the wires while this was plugged in, and I move them about. The wires, they do come up here somewhere and they go across. So I went to the other side of the car. I moved the harness about and I couldn't get the light to be turned off. Now, I believe the problem is not within the wires. I think whichever wire is giving me the short to ground, wherever it's coming from. Oh, my cat needs food. Okay. I believe that whichever wire is giving me the short to ground, it might be coming from wherever it's coming. Let's assume that one wire, this wire, is giving me the short to ground. If it's coming, for instance, from the ignition switch, maybe the ignition switch is 40 and is sending down here the ground. So what I've decided to do, I am going to narrow down the wires, which wire is giving me the short to ground. As you can see at the back here, let me see if I can, yeah. You can see some of the pins are empty. So I'm going to put a wire from here and I'm going to touch the corresponding pin on the socket and try and see which wire is giving me the short to ground. It might be more than one, it might be just the one, and we're gonna take it from there. So here it is. Let me put a wire in there. how am I going to do this now? I need 2 hands, so I'm going to try all of them, and if I find which one is giving me the ground, I will come back and show you. All right, so far I tried all of the connections, and this is the only one that's giving me a short to ground. So this thick red one is giving me a short to ground. When I attach it, it's not constant though. So let me show you. So that pin there is the one in the corner, and look, I don't know why it's doing that. It's funny because when I plug the socket in, it's constant, but now it's flashing. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now, I am going to follow this thick red wire. As you can see, there are some connections here, and I'll try and see where does it go. So what I did, as you can see here, we have a black wire, which I believe it should be a short. Sorry, it should be a ground. Let me untie this. These are all bundled together. So it could be one of these 3 wires that's giving me the short. So I need to follow 3 wires now. I need to follow the thick red, the small red, and the black, because they're all soldered together here. All right, as you can see, I dismantled the whole van. Good Lord. Now, let me tell you what's happening now. I back prop this wire, the red one, not here, because here I didn't know if these are all connected, so I don't know which one is it. So I back propped it from here, and I have traced it, by the way, and it goes behind the radio. Right, this is the wire. If I put my multimeter one side in there and the other side I touch here, as you can see, that's the wire, or as you can hear, man. All right, that's the wire. I disconnected from the radio, and I'm still getting, if I plug this back on, I am still getting, sorry about that, I'm still getting the light. That tells me that the problem is not this thick wire, it's one of these 2 small wires. Sorry, it's one of these 2 small wires, the problem. So now I need to trace each and every one of them and see where they go, but they come in here. They come in here. Let me see. Yeah, black and red. All right, so let me see. That's the black and the red. Okay, they are going through fuses, and they coming out here. This must be the 2, and if I follow them, they come in here. Wow, I disconnected this the other day, and no difference were made. Let me disconnect them again. That's the black. Okay. That's one, that doesn't matter. I need to disconnect this one. Okay, that's disconnected. There's a lot of wires, cut wires, I don't know why that is. Maybe they are not used. So let me plug this back on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So now that we have eliminated that pin there, which is giving us the short to ground, I'm going to try again and connect a wire from here to the connections in there. Okay, in there, and see if any other wire is now giving us a short to ground. Okay, this red wire that was giving us the short to ground is now disconnected, right? That goes all the way to the radio. That's unplugged. These two wires here, they go here, which they are unplugged. And now I am going to back probe the rest of the pins here and touch them to their socket and see if we have another short to ground. This is a disaster. All right. Before, the wire that was giving us the short is this one in the top left corner, which is the thick red wire, this one here. Now we disconnected it, it doesn't give us any short. Now the one below that is the only one that gives me a short. Let me connect this wire to the corresponding pin in there. Okay, and have a look at the light before I touch it. Have a look at the light. Okay, the light is on, but I'm still holding it, I'm still touching it, the light is out. Okay, maybe this is normal, I don't know. But no other pin is giving me a short to ground. And if I plug the whole plug back in, okay, the whole plug, I'm gonna plug it back in. Look, I'm getting a short to ground again, and it doesn't go out. So I have come to the conclusion that the problem is my fuse box. In fact, it might be the gateway. So I cannot go and buy just the fuse box and put my gateway on. I'm going to buy the whole set. There you go, the light is still on. All right, no other option. We have to try. We have to purchase a new fuse box, plug it in, and let's hope that's the issue. All right, I did all I could. I can't do anymore, so I'm gonna leave everything as it is. I will order the fuse box. Hopefully I can find some on eBay, and in a week's time, maybe 2 weeks time, when I get it, I'll come back, plug it in, and continue from there. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Speak to you soon. Take care.